Okay, profile optimization. I just don't want to forget what I've got three things that we need to cover that need to be extracted out of this brain for you. And so we're going to not digress. Okay. Welcome to day 4. We're back in the car. We're in the same, Hey, but skin is done. Hair is done. We're clean. Just realized I forgot my smartwatch, but that's all right. We're going to get through it. And I know that I said that we were going to discuss content today, but I have to backtrack it because what we need to actually discuss today product development, market research, profile optimization. Now, for those of you that have been here for a while, if you feel I'm forgetting something in this stage, drop it below, right? The OGs, the vets. We've taught this so many times. This year we're adding AI architecture onto it because it's so valid, it's so important. And here's the thing, I was listening to a mentor speak, and everything is AI, right? A lot more is AI than we realize is AI besides just ChatGPT and learning models, right? So when we're taking photos, when we're sort of like using Canva, I mean, there's so many different, the internet, right? There's so many different layers to it. And this is why we're going to kind of go into like some of the energetics. We're going to do probably like, I don't know, a muscle testing. I'll teach you guys muscle testing, and we'll probably do a meditation around it so that you can truly see what comes up for you, right? Because everybody's going to hold a different key to the whole truth, right? Everybody's got an aspect of it. So welcome, hello, welcome to day 4, is it, of the 9-day workshop. And today we're going to be going over what's really, really important before we even get into the content, right? Because anybody can make content. That doesn't mean that they're going to generate leads and clients from it. And it doesn't mean that they're going to get monetized on a platform and be able to sustain that income, because there's multiple ways that we can get monetized, right? It's not just paid for plays anymore. And it's not just huge reach that can create a sustainable income. Does reach and virality make things easier in some cases? Yeah. But is it sustainable if you do not have proper structure, positioning, and authority in the market? No. You will crash and burn. And I know this because I did it in the very beginning. So, the number one thing that you need to do that is huge in why so many entrepreneurs' content flops is market research, product development. Okay. Number one, understanding for you, and sometimes this comes later, understanding for you, what are your like top 3 income producing activities. Okay. I call them IPAs. Like, what are the activities in your business that generate income for you? So for me, for example, creating video, producing videos, workshops, and product development. Those are the 3 things. I would say maybe word of mouth now is one, but in the beginning that wasn't, right? I didn't have a lot of client testimonials. I didn't have clients getting wins that were like telling other people about what they were experiencing here. Of course, a couple of them were, but they're like telling their family and things, and their family didn't understand what they're building, right? because it's not for them. They can't see it. They're in the frequency of the T-Rex, right? If you caught last night's reel on frequency and energy. So market research, in the past, we have taught you guys to use answerthepublic.com. This is an SEO optimized market research tool. So Amazon, YouTube, TikTok, these are all search engines. Google, okay? These are all massive search engines, and TikTok has quickly become one of those top ones, right? So this is a place people go for information. SEO is search engine optimized, okay? So this means these are keywords that clients are already looking for. Answer the Public is a tool that will actually generate you the top Googled and searched questions and keywords on any platform. And there's a paid subscription, but you can use up to 3 searches a day per 24 hours for no cost. And I'm telling you, it gives you so much data, and you're going to work from that same niched data repeatedly, rinsing and repeating, that you don't need the paid version, okay? Unless you're running strategies for multiple brands, and even I do that, and the free version is still enough to compensate for when I need to use it for a client. So in the past, I taught market research using Answer the Public. That's incredible. You can ask those questions in your market research inside of Facebook groups, on your wall, in your reels, or you can answer those questions in your content. Okay, so when we're using SEO optimized keywords within our speech, within our writing, this is going to help the algorithms push that content out first when someone is searching it. Let me have some fire, and be sure also, bring your pen and paper and be writing this stuff down, because after the workshop, these replays will not be available except for to subscribe. So that is something we have used in the past. Something I want you to understand is that market research no longer has to take hours and hours and weeks. Okay? Let me be honest with you. You can run market research in someone else's viral, high engagement performing Facebook group. And for example, this isn't somebody else's page, but I use emotional trigger posts, which we'll get into probably on day 4 or 5, probably, maybe tomorrow even. Emotional trigger posts. So I can put up a little colored meme background asking a really emotionally triggered SEO optimized question and get 100,000 people on that on TikTok, right? That is very quickly. I can see exactly what the market is saying. For example, I did one on asking about mental health in the market. Everybody blamed it on like MAGA. MAGA, drugs, the internet. I very quickly got my feedback from the market of what my market believes, the messaging my market is using. And then I was able to continuously feed that back to them. So having that data is step 1, right? As well as product development. So once we know what the people want, because a lot of entrepreneurs, the mistake they make is like they're too emotionally attached to what they are selling, and they're not emotionally attached enough to service, looking at sales as service. And so it's not enough to just know what people need, right? That's actually kind of egocentric and arrogant. You need to serve people where they are and give them what they want. And how can you do that if you actually don't take the time to know, right? And so this is why we see so many people flip-flopping, because you might see, for example, there's a publisher online who's struggling a bit. And I have worked with several publishers in this capacity as a new publisher, right? So why is it that these more credentialed and experienced publishers will come to me for guidance? Well, they're not doing the market research. They're looking at me and they're looking at other people and they're thinking, oh, that's what's selling for her. Little do they know, I might just be testing some shit. I can be talking about a product all day. It doesn't mean it's sold 12 times over at top dollar, right? So you've got to really know your audience. Like when I'm speaking to my audience, I'm speaking to my audience, right? Yesterday I dropped the audit for the social media. Clients who have bought that before messaged me, right? There's no need to discuss it. Like they're like, yes, Jessica, I want the audit. Like sign me up, Scotty. Because they know, right? It's for them. When you can speak about something with certainty and authority, it creates a different frequency. It creates that trust. When you trust yourself, it shows in the content, right? It's natural. I'm not even using a script today. I wrote down 3 things. And I actually bombed a lecture that I did recently because I used a little bit more of a script than I normally do. And I thought I could just like write it out and be good. No, I can't do that. I've got to just take my little pointers and then we just gotta sometimes, right? Unless I have a webinar. But even that's a lot of work. That's a lot more work than I've been doing in 2024 to 2026. I'm going to tell you, I simplified the entire business. Where's my dang notes? So, ouch. Market research, potent. So many people skip it. And I will say part of the 97% of businesses that fail, they're too emotionally attached. They are not doing the market research. So you're going to do your market research within Facebook groups that you're active in, okay? You are going to do your market research with Answer the Public. From there, when you have your data, that's when you want to develop a product based on what the market wants. Okay, this is really, really important. And only then, when you have done the market research and you have developed a product that is in alignment, then and only then, I'm going to edit this and put it all together on YouTube for you guys on the replay. Then and only then can you optimize the profile, right? So profile optimization looks like, do you have a clean profile photo, headshot of you? Well lit, clean background, clutter free, outdoors performs very, very well. You can see I've got the beautiful lake in the background. A clear banner that says what you do, who you serve. In your bio, that should be very, very clear. Who do you help? What do you do? Who is this for, right? I help women heal. No, way too generic in 2026, right? I help women somatically overcome trauma. Still too vague. Like you want to get really, really niched with this. Like I help midlife mamas overcome in a crisis, right? Like bingo. Like this is super important because majority, like 67% of consumers are actually choosing or looking at your profile before they buy from you, right? They're looking at your content. It's essentially your storefront. So you need to think about, what does my storefront look like when these people come and they click on my page, right? Do I have consistent teaching videos? Do I have a clear profile picture, or is it like a meme of a cat? Do I just have a picture of a sunset as my banner? Or does it say that I've got a workshop coming up in 7 days that's free or low ticket? Are you promoting a book or a product? Like, these are all important. Your profile picture allows for a long caption. So this is where you can put a welcome page. You can add links to this section, and you can be changing this about once every month, every other month. Sometimes I do it, and this pushes it out to a new audience every time. You'll see your regular people see it, and then you will see a few new people every single month. The other thing is having links. So having a link appropriate to what you're doing and using that, turning your page into an essential funnel, like an organic funnel right off the gate. And then that's when we can go into content creation, right? When you have your market research done, your product developed, and I'm going to say one product, 6 months to a year, hit it hard, get it converting, maybe even less right now if you're using the whole Axiom framework and not just sections of it, which some coaches just use parts of what I teach, right? Some people, if they haven't invested, they're not using the whole thing, or they're not using it with support. They're just kind of freeballing it, which is fine. I mean, you could build a whole brand just of what I teach for free, okay? People have done it. People have done it and then gotten to the level where they could afford the price to work with me. And then they invest into the books, into the coaching. Like, the way that my business is structured is impeccable. Others are copying it now. Like, others are wanting to build for themselves what I am building. And I am giving it to you generously for free. Okay? Because it feels good to see other people winning. I remember in the beginning, like, I struggled desperately. And there's still some things, like, I don't know ads, right? There's still things that I don't know about business. There's still things that I want to learn. There's still things that I'm integrating through. But I know how awful it was that nobody would help, right? Nobody would tell you any strategy. They're all gatekeeping it. Even people I've worked with and given money, I've had to surpass them energetically and become more generous, more kind, more disciplined, more creative. And you're going to do it too. So, market research is huge. I want you to go check out Answer the Public if you have not used it yet. And I want you to go post some of those questions in Facebook groups. Okay? You can post them here in Work Your Light. You can post them in Light Mastery, Unbelievable Stories of Trauma and Triumphs. You can post them in meme groups. So think about, like, what is your niche? What is your general, like, group of body of work? And go find Facebook groups with a lot of members that are public that you can actually go and post in. And be asking questions. Asking questions shows our intelligence more than the answers that